Ladies and gents, welcome to Six Figs. I'm Kyle, and in today's video, folks, I've got some juicy stuff. I can't wait for you. This is going to be D for delicious, baby. Now, hit me up on Twitter at Real Six Figs, folks, because this is where I get down and dirty and absolutely buck wild. As you can see, we've got one hell of a show lined up for you guys. Dfinity dropped an absolute stunner of a tweet on all of us immortals, from CKBTC to CKETH within 1 year, paving the way for trustless multi-chain ICP in 2024 and beyond. Now, they are teasing us, folks, with chain key Uniswap, chain key USDT, chain key DAI, and I do believe we'll see some USDC as well. But you guys can kind of see here how this adoption is really taking off. February 1st, the first CKBTC transaction. For those of you that are new to Dfinity Internet Computer, CKBTC basically stands for Chain Key Bitcoin. And Dfinity has developed this technology that basically eliminates third parties' need to wrap tokens, because the third parties are the ones that always get hacked for hundreds of millions of dollars in crypto. So Dfinity came up with this way to basically leave all that crypto on its native platform so there's no risk of it getting hacked. We're seeing just tremendous growth here, folks, within the CKBTC ecosystem. Huge growth in the Chain Key ETH ecosystem. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens going forward for 2024. So I'm very excited for this. Dfinity has absolutely hit it out of the park. We're humming along at 5,505 transactions per second. The internet computer is basically processing an Ethereum equivalent of 200, and let's round that up to 210,000 ETH transactions per second. So things are getting real buck wild with the internet computer really quick. You can see how the total CKBTC supply is just going parabolic. We're seeing a little bit of a level off with Ethereum on this, but people are starting to trust the tech within the internet computer. Now, there is an interesting article here, and I just couldn't help but to laugh, and you're not going to hear this information anywhere else. I guarantee you this. I am probably one of the only people that has ever brought this to anyone's attention. But the Solana co-founder, and don't get me wrong, folks, I love the Solana community. I love the Solana ecosystem. What I don't like is the founders of Solana. And I'll get into this in just 1 second. Solana co-founder issues a warning of a potential risk in the Ethereum blockchain. So here he is out there fudding Ethereum. Solana's Anatoly Yakovenko discusses Ethereum centralization risks. You want to talk about centralization? Guess what, folks? All this shit is centralized. You guys need to get that into your head right now. It's centralized until the foundations either cease to exist or they just relinquish all control. But at this point, blockchain technology is so new that a lot of these foundations that have developed this amazing tech just need to have their irons in the fire, probably for a little while. So this was funny because here we go. One of the co-founders of Solana recently expressed his opinion about the potential challenges facing Ethereum and Solana, but he suggests Ethereum might struggle with centralizations. Now, there is very interesting stuff here because January 2nd, 2023, so a year ago, I posted this information, and, it didn't really do too well, but anyways, Solana basically is forced, still, folks, to this day, to give Alameda Research, this is happening every month, 577,675 Solana tokens every month until 2027, 2028. I bet you didn't know that. Now, when we talk about centralization, basically Solana and the co-founders rolled over for Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, and Alameda Research. And this is where things get really interesting. So on September 11th, 2020, Solana inks a deal with Alameda for 12 million SOL. And these tokens would start unlocking at a rate of on 9/21 at a rate of 166,000 SOL per month. and Solana will continue to pay Alameda until 9 of 2027. So we're going to look at this September 11th, 2020. So here it is. This is when basically Solana launched. They got right into bed with Sam Bankman-Fried, and you can see that Sam Bankman used FTX to pump the price of Solana. And this is where the tokens start unlocking, folks, when price is nearing the all-time highs. But what's more interesting about this is that it almost looks like after this deal was inked on September 11th of 2020, where Solana inked this deal with Alameda Research, Sam Bankman-Fried, and FTX, you can see that on January 1st, 2021, Solana inked another deal with Alameda for 34 million SOL. These tokens start unlocking at 122 at the rate of 411,000 SOL per month. And Solana will continue to pay Alameda this much until 9 of 2028. So basically, we have Solana just giving up well over 500,000 tokens to Alameda Research every month. Now, what's interesting, though, January 1st, they inked the final deal, right? So this is the final deal that, hey, we're all in bed now. Hey, this is going to be great. We're all going to get rich. Because look what happens on January 1st, folks. Here's where January 1st comes in. That day, the next day, so that day they inked the deal. Boom, Solana takes off. And you can't even tell me that this is a coincidence. The market maker was turned on FTX, and they bid the price of Solana way up. And you can see January 1st, 2022, this is when all these tokens start unlocking. So here's Sam Bankman-Fried. We get to the top. Okay, he's sitting real good. Alameda's sitting real good. FTX is sitting real good because they are getting almost 600,000 tokens per month at this point. And what happens to the price? What happens to this price? Boom, it goes all the way down. Now, we are seeing a little bit of resurgence in the price, but we are seeing a lot of, in my opinion, some like bizarre culture around the Solana tokens. And don't get me wrong, folks. I love the Solana ecosystem. I love the community. I love the applications. I love everything about it. The only thing I just don't like is the founders. To me, this is very crooked. So you're not going to see this anywhere else. But we've got other things going on right now. The Bitcoin ETFs are unofficially approved as BlackRock amends the 19B-4, which is one of the last steps needed to really file for these ETFs. It's basically done, says Eric Balchunas. Balchunas, baby. A senior ETF analyst for Bloomberg after NASDAQ filed the much-anticipated amended 19B-4 forms for BlackRock and Valkyrie. Now, this is going to be very interesting to see what happens, and this means basically that the SEC has informally approved the ETFs with official approvals to follow on Monday. I thought we were going to see all this happen on January 5th after hours because that's when the snakes in the grass love to bring out information on Wall Street. You see some big time shit get dropped Friday after hours when all these other entities like BlackRock and all these other institutions on Wall Street can trade dark pools and stuff like that, meaning they are exchanging shares like off the market. They don't have to report any of it. Like there's a whole lot of shady stuff going on behind the scenes. That's why they do stuff like that. But BlackRock has $2 billion lined up. Whoop-de-doo, right? We see Bitcoin and all these other crypto assets fluctuate $2 billion in market cap every week. I mean, this to me is a nothing burger. I don't know why people are so, this is cool. I'm not going to get down on everybody. This is cool that they've got $2 billion lined up. That's not going to do shit to the price. I'm just being real with you guys. So we got the crypto markets, and we have a sea of red, folks. This is not good. But I do think that people are just kind of hinging going into the weekend. they're kind of flustered with like what's going on with these ETFs. How is this going to impact things? Are these big entities going to create a massive sell-off? Let's just say BlackRock goes ahead and dumps $2 billion worth of Bitcoin or finds a way to tank the market with leveraged positions ready to buy the dip at 10 or 100x. You can see where I'm going with this. They can make billions and billions of dollars just with simple market manipulation tactics. Internet computer, folks, we'll tune into Bitcoin in just a second. We're trading at right about $13.30, still up 210% on the year. I am so happy about that. Excuse me, I misspoke. We are at $12.11 right now, and we are seeing the IC folks really kind of fight with Shiba Inu. We're getting bit by this dog, and we keep floating up to 16, keep dropping back to 19th rank. But we're sitting at a cool $5.5 billion marketplace. We're sitting at $12. But what's going on right now, folks, is that we are going to really tune into the ICP charts in yesterday's video. And this is why you guys need to pay attention to this channel. This is why you need to hit that notification bell when shit is going off. You can count on me to possibly, not guaranteed, possibly go live and examine the markets. This thing starts dumping or tanking, folks, and we got all sorts of problems. I'm going to be there for the most part if I can. But in my previous analysis and things like that, I am talking at a super high level, possibly one of the highest levels that's ever been seen in crypto before, about internet computer. Now, we're going to we are going to really tune this thing in, and we're going to do so with some GON fans here, folks. Now, this is the ICP charts, and when it comes down to it, my opinion is that this price action is a little too far away from this Ichimoku cloud. We're on the weekly. Things are great. Don't get me wrong. This is amazing. But what we are going to do is throw up GON fans to really help determine, folks, what the heck is going on with ICP. Where are these hidden trend lines that we can't see by looking at a chart like this? This is how we figure this stuff out, and that's why we're doing technical analysis on this channel. It's not financial or trading advice. I want to make that very clear. But this is why we do technical analysis at the highest level that's ever been done, folks, because I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I can't watch a lot of these other channels' technical analysis. Number one, they lack forward-thinking ability. They just lack the forward-thinking ability. And that's the only way to make it in this game, folks. I've been trading for decades. Trust me, if you can't forward-think the markets and predict its next move, and you are reacting to the markets, you're going to lose a lot of cash, baby. Now, we've got our GON fans up. And I'm glad I drew these up because now we can get rid of some of these so we don't get confused. But we're going to get rid of that trend line. And what the heck happened? There we go. Just trying to get rid of these trend lines here. So right now, folks, we're going to skip over to the daily. Get rid of this blue angular line. And right now, folks, this is exactly why you're tuning in to see this. We got the 1 to 4 trend line on this GON fan. We're seeing in absolute obeyance. Price action has become this GON fan's absolute bitch. And I can guarantee this because here we've got price action resisting along this 1 to 2, or excuse me, along this 1 to 1. And we've also got resistance here. We've got this very, very hard flashpoint intersection right here. Also, we've got resistance here. So what we are possibly seeing here is this combination of a few things. Right now, prices run up way too fast, way too much. I love the internet computer. I'm the one that helped discover, or I'm the one that discovered that FTX was out there using their exchange for evil purposes, folks. I've been around this thing for the last few years. This is my baby. But when you tune into this channel, I'm never, ever, ever going to sugarcoat anything. I promise you that. And this is what we're getting right now. This is what is called a rising wedge. And this is, you know, somewhat of a bearish formation or a bearish a pattern. But the good thing is here that this is a very shallow pattern, meaning that it only covers the span of like a month or two. So I'm not expecting the price of ICP to actually tank too much. But what I would like to see is on this daily chart, this 50 moving average kind of glide up into here. And I'm thinking there's this chance that we could see ICP do one of two things. Try to test this this trend line here. And we could also argue that we could see this thing come down and test this 50 moving average. And really, when it comes down to it, right now, ICP is testing previous highs. And this is very interesting to me. So we look at this candlestick here, and you can kind of see how price action is reacting here. So it wouldn't surprise me either if we saw ICP really kind of hold this floor and maybe do one of these and then rip to the upside. Because let's just face it here. If we get a bull flag or a bull pennant out of this, we've got a very nice bull flag pull. So I do think that maybe within the next couple of weeks, we could see this thing trade down to around this $11.78 level. There is one thing that I do want to caution everybody, though. And this is where, folks, this is where this forward-thinking ability comes in. And this is why a lot of these other traders out there get absolutely wrecked. This is why a lot of these traders out there will only start a live stream when they're in profit or something like that. But one thing that we do need to be on the lookout, folks, for is this potential head and shoulders pattern that could form as a result. And this would bring a very clean neckline. So we need to be on the lookout, and we need to be vigilant, is what I'm trying to say. So right now, you know, we're just kind of waiting to see what happens. I'm fully expecting this this price action to, or this rising wedge to execute. You know, it's a bearish pattern to see. Right now, we are hung up right on this lower trend line. So, you know, if this thing falls, I mean, it could get really nasty. There's a long way to fall. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Again, this is a very shallow pattern. So, folks, here's the deal. This is why you need to tune in. This is why you need to hit that bell, why you need to subscribe, because right now this thing's in kind of like a pattern and we're waiting to see what happens. Is it going to execute? Are we going to see price action, momentum, excitement, enthusiasm break this bearish pattern? Who knows, folks? I've seen it happen. When we get into the bull market, it's not uncommon for these small bearish patterns and small bullish patterns in the bear market, but in the bull market, the small bearish patterns can sometimes get broken, which is fantastic to see, and we've seen it a couple times here. I think what I'm going to go ahead here and do is pull up the Bitcoin charts so we can get a clear understanding of what possibly could be going on. So, with that said, we have Gone fans already deployed on this. My thoughts with this, you can see that there is a lot of excitement right now, a lot of swing high, swing low wicks with Bitcoin, folks. I had predicted in one of my previous live streams that we would see some sort of bull flag, bull pennant, something like that. That's exactly what we are seeing if we go to like a grander scale, like a daily chart. We've got a very nice, folks, bull flag pull, and we are seeing maybe this potential flag playing out. But right now, we are stuck in between a couple Gone fan lines. So I do think that if you see Bitcoin trading above 46.5, there's a good chance this thing's going to start running up to the 50s. If you see this thing trading lower than like 40, somewhere in there, just know that we might be gearing up for a dip down to like the high 30s. This is just the period of time we're in right now, folks. This is a consolidation pattern, whether you like it or not. I am a Wojak animator, folks, so I'm going to drop an end screen here for you guys to check out my latest video. Peace.